So, it's been a little while, but I'm back at it with another Heroforge build, this time featuring a set of Star Wars models. It seemed like the perfect time to do this, what with the final episode of Kenobi dropping and all. But, as per usual, these build videos include a contest which was undertaken in my Discord server, and all of the participants will be briefly featured at the end of the video. The three most voted on winners of the competition will also have their models brutally and viciously dissected by me throughout the video, one by one between each of my own made models. And as always, join the Discord if you want to get in on future challenges like these. The link is in the description below, but with that said, let's get on with the video. So this right here is Jedi Knight Ubek Vel by Scourch, and if that sounds familiar to you, it's because it is. Scourch was one of the winners of the last contest I did as well, the Vampire Kingdoms one. And in this case, Scourch has come number 3rd in this competition, and he has, as I said, obviously made a Jedi Knight. So there is, in the form that this is presented, it's very easy to see why this won. It follows a very simple theme, and the fact that the clothes are all simple and kind of like low, very, very, very simple and low fantasy, it makes this asymmetrical Clone Wars armor here on the right side only from his perspective. It makes it stand out more. So again, just like last time, Scourch's minis, they aren't necessarily the most complicated, and I mean that with all due respect. However, they really know what they're trying to do, and it's very similar to my own style, because I don't really tend to overcomplicate stuff too much either. I don't like to have a bunch of tails and wings and extra arms unless I really need to. But what Scourch does really, really well, which, not to toot my own horn, but I think I also do very well, is layering armor. So you can see by this fur neck here, It is using on, I believe, the extra model, but it could be the main model. It is using, yeah, exactly, fur and leather tundra coat. And now what he's done with this, if I'm not mistaken, he's going to measure, yeah, exactly. So the waist is pulled all the way down, the bust is pulled all the way down. All these down are down to hide most of the tundra armor chest base. And where it does show, like here on this arm, it's colored exactly the same as the chest piece on the main body, so that you'll barely notice it exists, and therefore the only thing you really see is this fur color, and that is very, very well done. It's a trick that I like to use as well a lot. Like if I pull these out, you're gonna see, yeah, now it starts to become visible, this chest piece that is clipped underneath. So what I can say about Scourch's model is it's kind of, it's a masterclass in how to layer different types of armor. But are there things I would do differently with that? I mean, I personally think that these legs look very, very skinny and thin underneath here when you have these like very clunky boots to go with them. And along with that, I kind of think that this like this Scourch chest piece, these legs, they look very kind of, they're on the main model, I believe, yeah. They've always looked very chunky. Like, this is very thick. Despite being a relatively new piece, they're very thick, like the old gear. And I think especially when you're using this color, which I believe is from my color library, yeah, gritty brown. When you're using this, because this also makes things look thicker because the high is so high, and that's what you generally use on leathers or really thick cloth. So in this case, it really looks like he's got some hell of a chunky skirt here, and you know, that's a matter of preference. I personally would probably color it with something a little bit lighter. Before I move on, I just want to do this so that people can see kind of, because this is what I believe this model does best, you know, the layering, and you can tell now. This is IG41 by Cheesus Christ in my Discord, and suffice to say, when you see it like this model looks amazing, right? Like, you have this creepy, you know, droid aesthetic glowing all the red, and you see all this little Star Wars detail, etc. And I mean, this moon behind it, like, let's be honest, this is truly a masterclass in presentation, you know? Like, this has everything you need for someone to like click on this, like it, you know, start being curious about, wait, how was this made? However, the magic kind of goes like I said, this model is made to be a screenshot. It's not made to be a model, because when you take all the pro features away, this is what you're left with. And I appreciate this kind of work, you know, because like Heroforge could be a lot of different things. You don't have to make a model like designed to be imported into Roll20 or whatever, because I mean then this would be a disaster. But suffice to say, for what this model is trying to do, it does it perfectly, you know. Like, this is clean. This planet especially, like, it really looks like it's in the distance, sorry. And the fact that it's like slightly darker here on this side kind of looks like this, you know, it's reflecting sun from here, you know. And only when I start moving the model do you realize, no, this is not a moon, it's just a shield. And, you know, a lot of this, I will say, does take pro features to achieve, you know. First of all, there's two different models for a lot of these things, but there's also a lot of lighting involved here, both in the pro section. Like, let's have a look at this. Yeah, so the color is pulled all the way down here. Like, if I pull this up, yeah, like you see the magic starts to slip away a little bit when if I reset all the color things. I don't think that takes away from it. I think this is very, very creative in what it's trying to do. As for how it's done, I'm actually not entirely sure, so I'm kind of curious to find out. So we could start by splitting these models apart. This always ruins the magic of the model, so let's... Oh my god, okay. So wait, his head is a little item held in this hand, like this thing, along with a massive club glitched into his body, and only some of them are colored with this. My god, that is... I'm kind of lost for words, actually. Like, that is... I would never have thought of that, actually. But wait a minute. It's not just this club, because it doesn't, like, look like this. It's this club as well. Yeah. Oh my god, right. So, this black arm is holding this club, which, as you can see, twists. And that's, like, the egghead. And then another arm down here, I don't know which it is, I can probably find out with a bit of... No, one of these arms it is, yeah, this one. So his right main arm is holding this massive club, which is acting as like the neck kind of, and the eyes and everything. And then there's this, what is this, the wand. The wand is an antenna, the head is a medieval stone club, and then there's this little sci-fi thing, I don't know the name of it. And all of it put together with this body, which... I'll put it like this model is more creative than I thought it was at first glance, and it already looks incredible at first glance, so... Yeah, well played, Cheesus, well played indeed. So this is the Marauder by Mothy, and again, if that sounds familiar, it's because it is. Mothy was #1 in the last competition, and Mothy is again #1 in this competition, so well played. I guess there's no competition. However, the next challenge I will do will probably... That's not going to be the rule for every challenge, but the next challenge I do will probably be like prohibiting you from using pro-only features. And that might finally dethrone Mothy, because obviously this right here, again, similarly to the Jesus Christ one and the Scourch one, they all utilize the pro features very well for presentation, right? The background and like, I mean, these wands, if I'm not mistaken, are glitched to be in the air like this, so a lot of this is pro exclusive, but that doesn't take away from the fact that it's very impressive. I mean, these blaster bolts, like using wands and glitching them into the air and like coloring them like red lasers, you know. And they've even used the lightsaber technique here, as you can see with the decals, to kind of make it look like they're white on the inside, which makes them look more like authentic blaster bolts. And I mean, if you look from the other perspective, you can see all the difference that makes. So for anyone who hasn't seen Revenge of the Sith, this is one of those like super droids that's like designed to fight with the Jedi, I guess. They have these staffs that don't get destroyed by lightsabers. And, you know, suffice to say, I don't think there's any doubt that Mothy has done a really good job of this, because like again, there's so much focus here, right? This face with the glowing eyes and the consistency here from the glowing eyes that are yellow, the mechanocore that's been clipped into the body, and these things here all have the same yellow glow, so you can kind of see that even though it's all covered in these orange robes and stuff, this is still a droid with the same kind of like yellow glow going all the way through it. So let's try and figure out exactly what is holding what. So we know the tail on the main model is not holding anything because there's multiple ones of them and they can't hold gear if they do that. So this right here is one of the invisible arms holding a blaster bolt. What about this one? Okay, so this arm here is holding the mechanocore that's in the chest. That's nice to know. So basically, I do this for shoulder pads a lot, for like cyborg arms or whatever. But you can use them as a chest thing as well. You know, you get this kind of Iron Man feel to it. And just like on Mothy's last piece, there's obviously a bunch of wings clipped into the cloak. But something else is done here as well, which is these tails. I think it's these ones. Yeah. So they've used several tails clipping over the shoulder to connect with this neck piece here, the scarf, to make it look like this kind of over-shoulder cloak. And this is one of the more classic tail tricks. It's not new, but it is kind of hassly to do, so, you know, still props for it. Okay, so let's do the fun thing, where we drag the models apart and see what an abomination this truly is. So you go there, and you go here. So now we can kind of see what is what. You know, you have these two chest headpieces that look like they could belong together. You know, you have the I don't know what they call it, the head thing here with the horn that's like a feather that combines and sits with this like thingy here. So if you put them together, you're gonna see just how well this matches. It blends together like it really is one helmet, and that combined with this orange theme that goes from the scarf to the tails, to the wings, to the cloaks, to the midsection thing here, and even down at the trenchcoat level, you know, there's orange everywhere. So this cloth gear that this robot is wearing, it's consistent throughout. But aside from that, as you can see, the extra model doesn't really have a lot. It doesn't even have an extra arm here. It's only this one. So they're combining two arms here for some extra detail, I suppose. But aside from that, the extra model doesn't actually hold that much. So aside from the headpiece, it's actually kinda deceiving. This could be just one model. Like the headpiece would lack some detail, and there'd be a tiny bit of detail missing here and there. But for all intents and purposes, aside from the trench coat as well, I guess, this is really just one model with a bit of extra detail. So that is actually very impressive. Oh my god, I just noticed this shoulder pad has been clipped under here to look like armpit armor. That is creative, actually, I like that. And this, I'm gonna try, so you can see I've got this cane enabled up here, and I think the cane is what holds these things to kind of, and that is very creative. So let's, yeah, okay, I found it. So this arm here, it's one of the extra arms, it's holding a cane which is clipped into the body purely to get these three vents here and color them with that same yellow glow. And I don't know exactly what they're meant to be. Maybe they are just vents. Maybe they're, you know, a General Grievous lightsaber collection. I don't know. But either way, suffice to say, this is impressive. Well done. I think Mothy, once again, deserved the win for sure. And thank you all for watching. If you want to participate in future challenges like this one, we will be starting a new one very soon, and by all means just join the Discord, the link will be in the description below. Furthermore, if you have any suggestions on themes for future challenges, then let me know in the comments below as well. As always, if you like this video, then please press like. If you dislike this video, then press dislike, and goodbye.